if you could just wait. Good morning. My name is Henry Bond. I'm here from you live in San Antonio at Geekdom for San Antonio Startup Week. We are launching vSource this week, which is supposed to be a community hub of resources for the military-connected community who want to start and grow their businesses. So we just want to thank you for everybody showing up today, everybody in the room, everybody online. And we also want to thank our sponsors. So again, Geekdom, the Institute for Veterans and Military Families at Syracuse University, Port of San Antonio, the City of San Antonio, CPS Energy, San Antonio River Authority, Brooks, UT Health, and also us, Veterans Social Summit and Forge by Service, who is partner to live stream this event this week. So today's schedule. That was yesterday's schedule, but today's schedule, we're going to be talking about local procurement and government contracting all day today. So stick around. Do not miss a session. So thank you for being here today. I want to welcome Melanie McCoy from Supply SA. I will tell you what, she is a powerhouse. She does so much for the veteran and military community here in San Antonio and across the nation. Not only she is the executive director of Supply SA, she's also the IVMF ambassador to San Antonio. So she's here to support each and every one of you, each and every one of us. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring Melanie McCoy up on the stage so she can talk about herself and Supply SA.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here this morning and talk to you about Supply SA. I'm also excited to kick off vSource SA. If you're looking for a community network for the military community in San Antonio, this will be the place to be right here at Geekdom 7th floor, where we'll be able to provide community networking resources and help you grow your business. So I'm going to start talking about Supply SA, a little bit about me. I'm the CEO of Supply SA and the executive director for the SCTRCA. And I want to talk to you about unlocking local procurement. And since we're here at Startup Week talking in specific about a Veterans Initiative, I want to take a quick moment to talk about, okay, if my clicker works. Okay, here's the agenda. Let me step back. Is there a veteran advantage in procurement? I want to talk about that real briefly and about partnership and connecting with veterans. Then I want to talk about what Supply SA is. What is our goal? What is our objective? And then I want to talk about who champions and participates with Supply SA. How will we support you in your journey in local procurement? And then also how to connect with us. So before I get started, I also want to thank the City of San Antonio who's here in the room today, Economic Development. We also have one of our Supply SA ex officio board member here in the room. So I thank him for being here today. And when you have questions, I may bring them up later to answer some questions so you don't just hear from me, but also from an impacted community, which is our board member who is an actual small business doing contracting here in San Antonio, and our economic development department from the City of San Antonio. Okay, so is there a veteran's advantage to procurement? I would say yes. Here's why. We know how to pivot. We know our process. If you give us a standard operating procedure, a manual, we know how to execute. And we know how to grow and generate revenue because of that in procurement. So consider local contracting as an entrance into a new revenue stream. So you may have not started your business and you're thinking about it, or maybe you're operating in a commercial space. You may want to pivot to local procurement in this environment, right? We know things are getting tougher in the economy, and that could be another revenue stream for you to be able to grow your business. We also know that in the military, we learn how to adopt and adapt, right? You give us a task, we can adapt, we can figure things out, and we're highly resilient, which really helps because procurement can be really hard as you're on that journey. And it's not a quick journey. It does take some time. And then once you execute on your contract, which we know, military, we know how to execute. Once you execute on contracts and you have that past performance, you're going to be able to grow your business in that space. Here's the other thing. I want us all to think about veterans and non-veterans about partnership. Partnership so you can grow and you have more capacity and the opportunity to actually execute on larger contracts, right? Not just small contracts that you may be able to do, but if you're looking at a growth strategy, look at partnership. And it doesn't have to be forever, and it can look differently how you partner, but partnership should be something that you have top of mind in this journey. So who buys what I sell at the local level? And I want to talk about that a little bit. If you look at this depiction here, we pretty much have computers which have like professional services, construction, solar. The local government does buy almost everything. They probably don't buy alcohol and all these other things, but for most part, they buy everything, right? They have office, they need food, they need supplies, they're building things, and pretty much even laundry services. Hospitals need laundry services, so they pretty much buy everything. So chances are, more than not, they are buying what you're selling or what your services are. Okay. So who are the local agencies in San Antonio? This is one thing that I think a lot of us, and even I didn't know when I started my journey as an entrepreneur in procurement, was what is local procurement? I tended to kind of confuse between local and state and then federal, right? And local really in San Antonio are your city, it is the county, it's your hospital systems, it is your higher ed, utilities, anything in infrastructure related within the city of San Antonio that is funded by your tax dollars or partially funded by your tax dollars. So these are the agencies in San Antonio right here, and they're all partners with Supply SA. So are there some veteran-specific certifications that maybe present an additional opportunity or a leg up, right? I want to take a look here again and breaking out local certifications and state and federal. If you see the highlighted ones for locally here in South Central, we have a VBE certification. At the federal level, we know there's SDVOSB, and if you have an SDVOSB and you want to do business with the VA, that could be your differentiator, right? That puts you at the top of the list. But there are some opportunities where there are going to be contracts or solicitations that are looking for you as veteran, and especially in this changing climate, their veterans are a class that is going to be sought after. So I would encourage you, partner with a veteran, or if you're a veteran, partner with a non-veteran for growth opportunities. Okay, all right, let's talk about Supply SA now and our objective. So Supply SA is a regional initiative, a collaboration. What we are trying to do is increase local participation of small businesses in procurement in our region. And really I'm trying to accomplish three things. It's increasing the number of small businesses that are actually bidding on contracts, not just bidding, but also increasing the win rate. We're looking at streamlining, improving certification, because we know that's a pain point, and then making sure that those certification timelines are fair, timely. So within 30 days, we really like to get everyone certified for the local certification. And then the last part is make sure that we are tracking and reporting and actually measuring how well we are doing, right? We can always say, well, we're doing well, but unless, David over here asked me, well, what's the percentage? What's the number? My well could be very different from his, and we really need to be able to measure that. So that is my objective for Supply SA, to be the conduit and a partnership to get those things accomplished. And again, we are trying to create an end-to-end procurement ecosystem here in San Antonio for those 14 local partners and member agencies that I mentioned earlier. Why are we doing this? Well, there is a historic influx in federal dollars coming to Texas and San Antonio. We know there's infrastructure bills. There are a lot of other bills. We see roads, bridges, hospitals being built around here. And there's really when we look at the statistics or for the forecast, we think there's about a $9 billion opportunity. So this is data is just slightly dated from when they did the original analysis. So, it's going to be up and down. But there's a large opportunity to do business right here locally versus having to go to the state or the federal level. So we know there is a growth opportunities for businesses right here in San Antonio. And I would venture to say that's probably the same or very similar in other cities, right? If you're seeing roads, bridges, hospitals, your city has to do the annual things that they're doing from an infrastructure perspective. You probably have some growth opportunity in your city. So what are the focus areas? For me, there are 3 pillars. It's access, it's capacity building, and process. And access is all about making sure that small business owners can actually get to those opportunities without having to go and hire an entire capture team, right? We know that as a small business, you don't have the capacity to hire 3, 4 people, or maybe not even one person, maybe you're a solopreneur. So we really want to make sure that here for those 14 agencies, we can get to those opportunities without having you spend a lot of capacity to do that. And the other piece is certification. Certification has been a pain point, and I've heard it from my city partners. I heard it from my small business owners when I started, and we really made some traction in improving that. So the certification component, which is really still very critical here locally, is not a hurdle or roadblock for you in local procurement. The next one is capacity building. How do we help small businesses not spend all their time on administrative things? So instead of you going out searching on the internet for opportunities, right, and inputting your information into 14 bid portals, how can we streamline that so you can have capacity back to actually go after these opportunities that you're interested in? And then the last, and education. Education is another one. How can I help you in the process? When I first, a few years ago, when I first started thinking about doing federal contracting or local contracting, actually, I was like, well, what is this process? How do I figure that out? Like, where do I start? And then what are the steps to even submitting? When I worked for Lockheed many years ago, and I was in a capture team in a procurement, it was a lot easier. Everybody had a great process. We had a capture team of 30, 40, 50 people on some of these efforts, and everybody knew what to do because that's something they've always done, and it was really straightforward because they had great processes and relationships and systems. As a small business, you may not have any of those yet. So we want to make sure that we help you get educated, we help you find resources, we help you figure out what steps 1 through 10 are versus you having to go figure it out and track back and forth, and then ending up possibly not pursuing any local contracts because you can spend that time actually doing commercial work or doing something else. The last piece is working with each member agencies. I was at a town hall last night and we talked about the budget for the city, and some small business owners said, we're still having some concerns around the infrastructure, right? Systems are outdated, processes we don't understand. So it's really hard to do business with because I don't understand, or I don't have capacity, or I don't know the tools. So we want to be that partner to help them get through that, but also work with the city to fix and enhance some of their systems, processes, to make it a lot better process so you can actually participate. And not just the city of San Antonio, it's just an example. And we have the city here, so I thought I'd utilize the city. But we're really doing that across the board with all 14 agencies. There are too many systems, there are too many different processes, variation, requirements. And David right here, who's in construction, and is doing work in local procurement here knows this. And that really can limit you and what you pursue because you're trying to really smart with the time you have. And so there's some opportunities you won't go after because the process is just not conducive to do so. So what is the Supply SA ecosystem? It is 3 things, actually 4, and technology is not up there because you will probably not experience technology or you will have a really great experience at the front end. So I didn't put that on here. But small business navigation. So Supply SA will help you either through workshops, through 101 navigation, so we can understand your business and what your needs are and what you're trying to pursue. And we will provide resources to local contracting. So we will kind of be that conduit to help you do some of that research. We will also help you in the certification process. So when you come to us and you tell us you want to get certified, we can help you with the steps so you don't have, submit and then you may have to backtrack and do that. We also do community partnership. We are working all across the city with different agencies. That is business development organization, with the chambers. We have relationships with banking. We have relationships with insurance providers. So we're really going across the city and building this relationship. So when you need a resource, we can be that connective tissue for you. And thirdly, down here in C is the member agency enabler. So we're working with the member agencies to identify pain points, gaps, and a lot of them were already identified to be able to fix those or enhance their processes and for them to be able to provide what you need. So this year, a big focus will be debundling, forecasting, because we know if they debundle small contracts, you can pursue those, right? You can't, as a small business, doing a $50 million contract is just not feasible. Forecasting, the sooner in advance you know that an opportunity is coming, you're going to be able to prepare, and whether that does mean ramping up or even getting ready for the proposal process. It is just really advantageous for you to have more time, as you know, to be able to prepare and not having to throw something together and then utilize all your capacity when the RFP or RFQ, when the solicitation comes out to whatever they want, an RFP and RFQ. And then we know that if we can do all of that really well, that we will have economic growth because we are going to award more, and that the agencies are going to award more to small and local, and that will help San Antonio grow, small businesses grow, and they will hire more, and we're going to have economic growth. So that is what the ecosystem will look like if you're a participant of Supply SA. So who are our sponsors? And we talked about them again, the 14 agencies that you see here. They're the sponsors, they're champions, and they're also on the board, and they're also the customer, right? If you are doing business with, it will be local and small, it will be here with one of those agencies. So they are invested and they have a vested interest in making this work and helping you grow your business. Okay, how do you find us? We have a website, and I think I have a QR code in the end. We talked earlier about finding opportunities more quickly and not having to search. On this website, these are all hyperlinks, so you would be able to go to a Brooks or a City of San Antonio or Alamo colleges and click on these links. It will take you to their website, to their solicitations, any kind of information that you need. We can also be a partner in helping you connect with them as well. But the first stop for you, if you are looking to do partner and do work with these local agencies, I would recommend go to our website at Supply SA. How will we support you in your business growth? And I touched on this already, but this is kind of the end-to-end journey for if you come to Supply SA and you'd like us to support us. Or we come looking for you. For example, here today, we're doing this via live stream. Some of you found us. We're hoping to find you. But that's really providing market awareness. We want to know that you know that there are local opportunities in procurement right here in the city. Some of us do not even know, or I did not know that CPS was local procurement. I did not know. So it's bringing that awareness and knowledge that there are opportunities for local procurement and who they are. Then we want to make sure that we educate you on certification and make sure that we get you to getting certified if you are certifiable and, you know, one of these certification aligns with your business. We really want to make sure that you understand why to get certified, which certification, right? Some people get certified, just get certified. I did that when I started my small business. I just got all the letters because it was like, oh, cool, that'll help me, right? I didn't really know why or what those certifications were for until I got educated. Then I thought to myself, well, I really didn't need this certification or that, but I had to spend time on getting certified, which I should have utilized to do something different. The next is, how do we get you ready as a small business owner or a small business? Do you have the education, the tools? Do you have the connections that you need with the agencies, with the buyers, with the procurement officers? Do you understand their strategy, their needs? How do you do networking? It could be really across the board, or how we're trying to get you ready. So by the time you are in the process, that you are competitive and you're ready. And of course, all of this, it means that you, in your whatever you do, that you have your expertise and then you can execute. So for example, David up here in construction, we know that he can build whatever he gets a contract for, because he has that past performance. He's confident that he can do what he needs to do to build us a bridge or whatever it is, right? So that is not what we're working. That is not part of our scope. Our scope is to get you contracting ready. So tell me your name. If Leica says she is an educator, right? And her services are professional services, and she educates on, I don't know, rocket science, whatever. I have to know, she knows that she's ready to provide her services. We will help her through the contracting process. I can't teach her how to do her education component, but I can help her get contracting ready. And then advocacy, right? Just keep making sure that we connect you with the community, not just the agencies, but whoever you need to connect with. That's a chamber, small business development center. What we want to do is that we utilize the services that are already in place in the city, and we just refer you out and have you come back, right? So really making sure that you're connected in the community for the services that you need. And then last is win the contract. So that one, we have to make sure that, for example, if for construction, we're looking at bonding. Bonding is a pain point. We know insurance is a pain point. So working with the agencies to talk about how can we improve bonding and insurance components, so that David, who's in the room, can actually execute, that his bonding isn't held up and he's constrained to what he currently has, because that'll limit his growth capacity. So we really want to work on that. And those things are a focus for fiscal year 2026. Okay. And again, 3 components. We're working on certifications, and we have made great strides there. So I have one of my certification specialists here. We are really here to partner and help you get certified. And as much as we can help you, if you have your documents in order, we will be able to help you get certified. And then making sure that we do those capacity building efforts for our small businesses in the community. So bridging the gap between the agents and local community businesses. And the last component is the procurement navigation, all about education, and that can be workshops or individual one-on-one education. And with all of that, we are working on ensuring that we also have not just processes, but we're data and tech enabling this to make sure that it is sustainable. Okay, how to contact us. I believe I do have a QR code, but if you're looking for a navigation on our website, we have an intake form. If you're small and local here in San Antonio, because we are about local government contracting or local procurement, if you want to provide us your contact form, so when we meet with you, we have some information about your business. We're not coming in cold and saying, hi, Leica, what do you do? But I will already have some information about her business. If she's certified, I will know if she's already ever done government contracting. I will be able to know if she knows where she is in the process. So then we can help her in the very first meeting. We want to make sure that we meet with you and make an impact and give you resources to move forward, not just have a meeting to have a meeting. And then last, what we're working on. So certification, we are continuing to improve our certification experience and process. We know that is a pain point, and I think it's across the board, right? Even SBA, you submit your documentation, there's really no support. It's just submit your documentation. We don't want to do that. We want to help you get certified. Navigation, we are going to expand our training offerings next year very heavily on the workshop side and on the one-on-one side. And we're also going to try to multiply our efforts by having community procurement navigators. So that means my team is small. I can't support all of San Antonio, but we're going to have navigators of different business development organizations. The chambers are going to get dangerously smart enough to help you and support you. And we want to make sure that there's a navigator in your community. So if you're interested in doing procurement, or you're doing, in the procurement space, that we can help you for the local efforts. We also want to make sure that we increase our community presence through outreach and partnering with our agencies. I know the city of San Antonio is continuing and increasing their outreach. We want to make sure that we find those small businesses that are not aware about local contracting opportunities. Okay. And I already talked about our strategy for 2026. It's really going to be heavy on the agency side with our processes and really working on addressing pain points that small businesses have. And community partners, I talked a little bit. Here's some of the community partners we are building relationships and have relationships with. We know access to capital is one of the, for every business, it's one of the constraints, right? How do I get access to capital? Who are the people that I need to build relationship with in the banking system or in a bank? And so we want to make sure that we not just have, here's a banker, but have banking relationships where they can understand your situation, they understand your business. So when you need help, that they're there for you. So really building a banking relationship is what we want you to do in this process. And so you can, as you grow, your banker will grow with you and understand where you're going. Insurance and bonding, we are looking at having or being able to provide you with a host of insurance providers. We know insurance is hard to get when you first start your business and you start calling. We don't want you to start calling or searching on the internet. We want to be able to give you some of those warm handoffs or resources, so you can just call someone and say, I met with Supply SA, here's my business, I'm looking for insurance, can you assist? Partner services and offerings, Maestro Center, I was there yesterday, they do a lot of different workshops. They have a construction workshop, and that is an opportunity if you're looking in the construction space or you're already doing it commercially, and somewhere in between, take part of the boot camp. It's at no cost, I believe. And so we want to make sure that we provide you with no cost solutions first. And then if we don't have, or we can't find the community what you need, that we provide you with alternatives. And then small business engagement. We really want to make sure that we help you identify your gaps and help you solve for those in the journey. So talked about partnerships, the chambers, financial institutions, business development organizations. We really want to connect you with the right partners that you need in your journey. Here's something that was really important in the genesis of this and for the board, was having the presence of a small business owner in two forums. One is a business owner working group, so they can get feedback on pain points and help with solutioning, which David right here is part of. And then having a board member that's part of the Supply SA board that is a small business. So again, and that is David, he's the representative for the group. And so we look forward to having him at the next board meeting so he can participate in the conversations, also share pain points for small businesses in the community trying to do business with those 14 agencies. And we want to make sure that we increase visibility of agency opportunities. So we have those posted on our website. We're sending them out through our procurement portal. We want to make sure that we help you find what you're looking for. And how to connect with us. Okay, here's the QR code. If you're locals, doing local and small businesses here, a business here, or if you're a veteran business, scan this and you will be able to find opportunities or the websites, the connection to the website for opportunities for each agency, and be able to sign up for the procurement navigation with us. And I think that's all I have for today. How did I do on time? Oh, I did good on time. All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
Questions?
Do you have any? Oh, Laika has a question over here. Does she need a microphone? Okay. Hi, Laika.
Thank you so much for this informative presentation. I feel like I'm in the exact right place because I'm stuck, and I think that you'll be able to help guide me on my next steps. So federally, I'm already registered. I have my cage, my SDV, OSB, all of that.
Yep.
Locally, I have already contacted you guys through Supply SA. We're just figuring out a date because we're supposed to meet this week, but we're trying to figure out the right place. And I also have my SCT, the regional certification agency, to get my VBE as well. It's getting staffed right now. My main pain point is, man, I feel like I have everything in the works, but I feel still so intimidated on how to actually navigate the procurement process. So I don't know what my next step is from here. Where do I go? Do you guys have an event? Is there a navigator I need to speak to?
Yeah. I know we're meeting soon, Laika, so then you will have a navigator, and then we were going to figure out what you, and I have your information. So we will make sure that based on where you are in the journey, they figure out your next step. So I can't give you, generically do this next, because I need to understand where you are in your process, what your business is, what you do, so we can figure out what the agency is that you should be doing work with that's buying what you're selling, and that we make those connections, right? And make sure that all of your documentation, everything is in place. And so if you're doing business with the city, we can make sure you go to a city event, invite you, do those, right? To make those connections. But we'll meet next week, I believe, sometime, and then we will talk about your journey.
Yay!
So I look forward to meeting with you.
Any other questions? Just a couple.
Okay.
So do federal certifications translate locally?
No, they do not. So you have to get recertified. So we are under a Texas Unified Certification Program, and they don't, there's not a reciprocal relationship. So, but very many of the requirements for the federal certifications apply to us. But if you're trying to get certified, you can either go on the website, there's a guide on what the requirements are and what documents, or reach out to us so we can help you and tell you exactly what to submit.
Okay, so you mentioned there are 15 agencies that you work with. Do we, or veterans or individuals, need to certify with all 15 agencies?
No. It's one certification through the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency, which is us. And then what we want to do, which is a pain point, is the registration part. If you want to do business with all 14, you have to register 14 different portals. We're working to streamline that to getting your information once and then being able to provide that information to them. So that's an effort, really trying to streamline all the administrative tasks that you need to do even to get to them. So certify once and then registration, we're working on those. But in the meantime, what I would say, if you're interested in doing business locally, let's try to figure out who buys what you sell before registering with 14 agency, and then be really strategic. And I think this is the other piece, right? Sometimes we try to go after everything, and we're really focused, we're not focused on anything in particular. So I would recommend focus on one or two agencies, top three if you think they're really buying what you have, building those relationships and getting experience with them. And then as you grow, then expand who you want to do business with.
That's perfect. I love all that. So if I were to work with Supply SA today, how long would that certification process take? And how long until I can possibly get my first contract?
Okay. Oh, okay, great question. So on the first, didn't somebody say, who was that yesterday, Patrick, who said depends? Okay, I'm gonna say depends. It depends which certification you're trying to get. And Brianna's back there, she's gonna hold me accountable, make sure I don't give incorrect information. So if you're trying to get our local certifications, it's about 60 days out now to get, before we start looking at it. But this is a significant increase from January. When I started, we were at 7 months backlog. So now we're about 60 day out, right? So if you're getting certified local or hub, it's about 60 days out from, when after you submit. And then within a week or two, the process takes about 2 weeks, I would say, depending on ensuring that you, Henry, have given me the right information, right? All the documents that I needed or requested, and that I can the certification specialist can straight certify you. If it goes back and forth, that's about another 2 to 4 weeks, because we're communicating back and forth, which extends the time period for you to get certified.
Perfect. Now I know Supply SA is working with local procurement here in San Antonio. What about states? How does that play in factor with your organization?
Yeah, we don't. Oh, and I didn't answer your other question. How long does it take to get a contract? I can't tell you that. I do the certification. We will help navigate you through getting ready. Then it depends on the opportunity. And that's something we have to work on as well, right, David and Ivan? Every agency takes a different amount of time to award based on what type of solicitation is, then what their internal process is. And that is also some of the things like, I can't answer that. But it does take a while. I wouldn't say within 2 months you have a contract. I think that's unrealistic, because we know local contracting takes time. And it's also about relationships, because people buy from who they know, and in government, it's really no different. You buy from who you know and trust. So it's going to take you, I would say 6 to 9 months, I would say an average.
And that's on the low end, I know.
Yeah. And I think 6 to 9 months is probably realistic locally, because you can actually go out to events and meet them, right? And build those relationships. And, the business development organization or chambers, they can be an advocate for you. And that's why we want to connect you. And we can be an advocate because I'm working with them. So I can be like, oh, Henry is a marketing guy. Like, this guy's really, really good. Like, can you have a conversation with him? Just introductory call. And that's okay. It's just when the solicitation hits the street is when they cannot talk to you. Right. But we have time to do all of that to get you to the right people, to have those conversations and build those relationships. So I'd say 6 to 9 months is probably a fair representation of how long it would take to get a contract. Okay.
Perfect.
Rich has a question.
What's the difference between what you do and what the Apex Accelerator does?
Okay. Yeah. So Apex is federal, and they don't do a one-on-one navigation. So when I went back here and I showed you the roadmap on where to find you and all of that, we don't hand you off and say, come back. Okay. Where is my slide? Let's go back. Did I mess it up, Henry? The one that's like, it's the roadmap. Oh, it was on here. Right here, 16. So I met Leica, she found us, I found her. It's Rich right here. We're with you all the way through the process. I'm not telling you, okay, well, you got certified, now goodbye, go talk to the chamber and goodbye. I'm going to make a warm handoff to the chamber, and then I'm going to tell Leica, when you've gotten what you needed from the chamber, there's going to be an activity, an exercise, or something that she needs to do, come back, right? We're going to have a kind of a plan for her on what it will take for her to be contracting ready, and we're going to work on checking that list off together. And that's why we're trying to activate navigators throughout the community, because my staff of Surrey can't do that for all contractors right here. But we're really trying to have a one-on-one navigation relationship where we are the advocate, we provide resources, and we partner engagement. We're continually engaged through the journey of that small business. And Apex doesn't do that, right? They'll give you resources and they say, well, call me here or there, or we can check in 30 days, 90 days. And it's federally. We don't do federal, we just do local.
So is it beneficial to go to Apex, kind of use their stuff, and then based on that information come to you and then go a little bit further than one?
It could be, yeah. I think I would say it's probably local contracting, because, and people used to say it's easier to do local contracting, but I would say I don't know that I totally agree with that, because on the federal side, there's some data and some things that are available that are not available on the local side. So for example, you can get federally, everything is posted when you contract awards, past performance, all of that, right? On the local side, it isn't. So we're working on, see, there's some, so I'm not sure, but the relationship building is easier on the local side, right? You can build a relationship and go to somebody's office, they're living in the same city, a lot easier than going to DC and talking to someone. So I think it depends, but absolutely, I would say if you were talking to Apex and you're working with them, continue to work with them, but you can also work with us at the same time. It's just, you know, both flavors, and then you can go the federal route or the local. But as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of money right here in the city, and relationship and executing on work is probably easier when you're here than if you're doing it remotely. Yeah. And I don't know, I'm going to ask David and Ivan to jump in on any of these questions if they feel to. So, David, okay, if you.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you can.
Okay, sorry. Actually, on that thought of building relationships, so my family, they do federal contracting, but what I've noticed is that they don't do any marketing about it. So locally, if you have, you know, a business already and you're just trying to utilize local, state, federal contracting as another revenue stream, do you really have to change like your marketing up at all? Do you have to be more like on platforms talking about government and all that, and or can you just focus on contracting and building those relationships in the background?
So yeah, I think marketing and contracting looks a little bit different. Like, you know, you have a capability statement, that's part of your marketing. I think going on a community and meeting like an Ivan is marketing. I think it looks different, but you still need a website, because and I'm going to ask Ivan, I believe they'll still look at your website from what I understand. First thing you're going to do, look at somebody's social and look at somebody's website, right? But it's just a slightly different approach to marketing that you would have to do. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay. And David, you might want to jump in. He has done contracts.
Absolutely.
Here.
I think for, you know, speaking from the perspective of a small business owner.
Do you want to come around so
Sure.
you can be on camera? Yeah.
All right.
Introduce yourself, David.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Shadene. I'm the CEO of Lone Star Civil, a general contractor in the city of San Antonio, small business. We're about 2 years in now. We have a lot of good business relationship with the city of San Antonio. I'm also on the board of directors, ex officio with Supply SA as well. And I am the bridge, or, you know, kind of see me as an advocate for small businesses, you know, when it comes to how we're doing business in the city. So one of the things I wanted to touch on with your question is, as a small business, you know, you kind of have to do the marketing. Either way, right? We focus more on building relationships with not just at a local level, you know, state level as well. But one of the places that we've seen a lot of success is that when we go out and we meet people, we meet, you know, all the 14 agencies. And back to what Melanie was saying earlier, which is, you know, we identify the top three of the 14 agencies that we want to be procuring from. We want to be out in front of them, bidding their work and trying to provide services to. But it still doesn't stop us from doing our marketing, you know, having our website up, you know, having it updated. How do you sell yourself? How do you sell your business? How does somebody like Ivan go and say, is this really a company? Are they valid? You know, how would they know about your past performance if you're not posting it on your platforms, right? So we have social media, we have our website, we have so many other places. I think there was a part 2 of that question. Yes.
Yeah. I think that was the question, right? Did you have another?
Yeah.
What's
but
part
I
one?
think to layer on top of that, I guess what
sorry.
Yes.
On that marketing point, let's say you already have like your as a construction company, you have a website already, you're posting on social media, but now you're trying to get into contracting as a new revenue stream. would you have to start using those keywords of like government contracting, putting it over your website and showcasing like more kind of government focused stuff on your social media?
So to answer that, I would say there's absolutely nothing wrong in that. We mainly focus on commercial, industrial, and government, right? So like 4 of our projects are parks, the City of San Antonio parks. We're bidding into additional work with the City of San Antonio. If you go to www.lonestarcivil.org, you will see we have nonprofit, we have government, we have commercial, we have multifamilies. If I'm building a relationship with Melanie to build a new office space, right? I'm sure she'll want to research me and to see what I have done, right? So if I call it out as a general contractor in the city building commercial spaces, right? Or doing building city parks. We're building a skate park right now. Imagine if somebody is looking for someone to build a skate park. It may not just be the city, or it may not be at the local level. What if Ivan decides that he wants to build a skate park for his kids on his 10-acre land, right? So I think from marketing perspective, being able to represent that on your platforms, on your website, social media spaces, using those hashtags, that's one of the ways that maybe not the city, but other people can find you and see what you have done.
Yes. They also want to know that you have had past performance, right? Commercial is great, but if you can say you've done government contracts, right, and you have that on your website, I mean, that's another, okay, they've done this before because requirements are different, right? Regulations and rules are different. Yeah. City requirements are different. So I think if you pivot in that direction, I would definitely, like he said, adjust your marketing on your website. Also know who your customer is and look at their strategy. Doing really like customer discovery, knowing who you want to sell to and what their strategy is for the next couple of years, and then making adjustments to your marketing based on that. That would be my recommendation.
And it makes
David,
you more
you have
valid.
to come, you're out of frame.
Oh,
okay.
And it makes you more valid, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. The city of San Antonio have insurance requirements, bonding requirements, right? So if you're already doing business with the city of San Antonio, you've gone through the rigorous process of being an approved vendor with the city of San Antonio, it's easier for someone else to say, hey, you can work with us, right? And there's a lot of value in that as well.
And this community is really small. So the 14 agencies I talked about earlier, they all know each other. So they might inquire and like, hey, I see David, Lone Star Civil has a contract with the city. UT Health may be building something, right? Or University Health, the hospitals. They're building all over the city. They're a local procurement. They may reach out and ask. So you want to make sure that you have that on your website, if that is your past performance, so you can build that trust factor, right? Because it's all about trust and establishing yourself as someone who can execute. David, Ivan, anything you want to add? You want to come up here?
I was about to call on Ivan because I want to know what is, from their perspective, how are they seeing?
Yeah. So this is Ivan Suarez from the City of San Antonio Economic Development Department.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for that intro, Melanie. I will preface all this by saying I'm not a procurement manager, so I don't deal in procurement, in the weeds on a day in, day out basis. But
okay, you gotta come back.
As everything that was mentioned is true. Past performance is very important. The city is very good at doing business with previous people that they've done business with. But at the same time, going forward, we are looking to provide opportunities to new up and coming businesses. So people that we've never done business before. So that's a big focus for us this year, is to really focus on giving opportunities to emerging small businesses. So that's also key for us.
And I like that you said that, Ivan, because that is the goal of Supply SA. We want to take those businesses who have done commercial work or as they're starting, right, and really provide them an opportunity, get them ready. So if you've done education or training or lawn cares, and you're doing it out here, or you've gotten out the military and you're a SME in something, and you want to start your business, you have that expertise. You can start a small business and then, pursue local procurement. So we're really trying to figure out how do we get more small businesses locally into that pipeline, and then doing business with city or Bear County or CPS, VIA, or any of the 14 agencies, really.
Yeah, and So that really quick, also I want to highlight two quick things from the city. We are doing procurement office hours at Launch SA, one of our partners. Our first one will be this October 23rd on a Thursday, and going after that, after the holidays, it'll be the last Thursday of each month, depending on the time. It's being published as we speak. There we will have procurement specialists and managers that answer actual, day-to-day procurement questions in a more detailed fashion. And then also our annual procurement forecast, our guide, it should be coming out sometime December, January, where that's going to have the roadmap of where the city plans to spend its construction dollars or its money for the rest of the fiscal year. So two key things for those that want to be a part of doing business with the city.
Can you talk about where Launch SA is?
Launch SA, I don't know the name. I'm new to San Antonio also.
I can say that. Okay, so Launch SA is located at the public library here in San Antonio. They have an amazing space. You will see us out there do 2 hosting trainings next year. But a great point on the forecast. You really need to look at the forecast, the ones that are publishing for forecasts out in the future, so you know what to get ready for. What are they selling? Are they buying what your service or your products are? So you can get ready. You can go out and meet them in the community as they're out there, because you have to build those relationships. So those are the things that we want to help you figure out as well. How do we teach you how to read forecasts? Because not everybody has done that, right? We have to recognize that you're a SME in what you do, and you're really good at what you do. You may not be, familiar with the process or understand the entirety of this process in a depth, and we can help you with that at Supply SA.
And talk about the Bear County Swim Bee events.
Okay, so yes, Bear County has events. The Swim Bee office. They also have a veterans office, but also CPS has events. They have breakfast. SAWS has events, which is our partner. VIA has events. Everybody has events. So here's what I would say. Make sure you know who you want to sell to first before you go to all of these events, because you can go to events every day of the week, pretty much, and go to networking events. But there are also trainings. We will do trainings, but what's already offered in the community, we will send you out versus recreating something. So again, if you come to us, we will help you kind of navigate that so you can maximize your capacity so you go to the things that you need to go to, where you need to build relationships, what you need to get your business ready, and then do that.
Goes back to just to piggyback off of that, if resources are limited, you don't have 14 resources to manage 14 agencies. Mm-hmm. You have to be strategic. You have to understand what you're selling, who you're selling to, and what are you trying to accomplish. I'll say this. There was a question earlier in regards to from certification to getting a contract. How long does that take? Well, I'll say it like this. With the city of San Antonio, if you check all the boxes, you have everything, you have past performance, right? And is verifiable. They know you can do the work. They're actually giving opportunities. And I want to give a big shout out to Supply SA and Melanie for helping with the initiative of debundling, forecasting, because a lot of the 14 agencies are now working together to ensure that we get all of these things in front of people, so you can plan, you can hire more resources, you can budget, right, and get more opportunities.
Thank you. Yep.
When you say past performance, is it just government that is valid, or all of your experience as a business owner?
Yeah. So if you've had contracts in the commercial space, that's also past performance. And they're trying actually to have more new small businesses doing work, through local procurement. So that's favorable here, but some agencies or some spaces, they want agency or government contracting performance to where they're like, they have commercial, but I don't know if they're able to navigate this because the requirements are different. So that may negatively impact you in some cases. Not here. We're really looking for those small businesses to have another revenue stream, because we know things are getting tough out here, but the government will continue to they will have their forecasts soon. So they already know what their budget is. They're going to have contracts. Why not participate? And
then we anticipate shortly that along mirroring the state's requirement for informal procurement dollar amount, it's going up to $100,000. So that's an opportunity for small businesses that they will be able to kind of have a easier time potentially getting city contracts by not going through the whole formal bidding process. So that's an opportunity coming up. To answer your question, really ready, willing, and able to do business with the city is what we're looking for. The able is a big piece.
Tom Ivan said that.
Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you,
This
David.
has been an informative discussion. We want to thank everybody, you guys, to be on stage, but mostly we want to thank Melanie. Now, I don't know where she put her own gift bag, but I found this pillow with a dog logo that we're going to present as a gift. So thank you so much for all your information today, your knowledge, and for all you do here in San Antonio for the veteran and military connected family.
Thank you, Henry. I get a pillow. David and Ivan, come back up. Can we take a photo? Without the dog.
Without the dog.
Goes this way. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.